Hello there everyone, and welcome back to Sonic Time Twisted. I'm the Jackalman, and it has, admittedly, been a little while since the last episode, and you might be asking yourself, the Jackalman, what have you been doing in that time? Well, let me show you. There you go, that's what I've been doing in that time. In the last episode, we completed the game, technically, with the bad ending, but because we didn't have all of the time stones and all the chaos emeralds, couldn't get anything better than that. And in the time since, that's what I've been doing. I've been going through and I've been collecting all of the time stones, all of the chaos emeralds. It took me a while. For a while the game wasn't letting me go back in my save file, or wasn't letting me get past Planetary Panic, which doesn't have any big rings to get into the special stages, so it took me a little while. But as you can see, we've now got 7 time stones, 7 chaos emeralds, and today we are going to be taking on the true final boss of the game. And we are going to do both acts of Planetary Panic, just in case that anyone's coming in, starting with today's episode, they didn't catch the last part. There's a little cutscene at the end of this act that explains what's going on, so just to make sure that everyone's definitely up to date, we'll do both acts. And also a little bit to stop this episode from being like 5 minutes long. Ooh, explosion in the background. So yeah, if you are unaware of what's happened in Sonic Time Twisted so far, the last set of episodes, we have gone through several levels. I think, kinda based on what I can gather, we are effectively in the, up until this point, we have been running around in the area around Never Lake, which is where Little Planet comes and appears in Sonic's world. I think we've been running around below Little Planet, effectively, up until this point where, as you can see, everything's gone a bit haywire. Metal Sonic has triggered some sort of meltdown of Little Planet. It is causing these giant lava lakes you're seeing in the background, in order to resurrect Eggman, who died at some point in between games, between presumably Sonic 3 and Sonic Time Twisted and the Sonic Time Twisted timeline. Eggman just died, and we've effectively been playing through Metal Sonic's plot to resurrect the guy. And I have played a fair amount of the game since the last episode in order to collect the time stones and the chaos emeralds, so hopefully shouldn't be quite as rusty as I have been in the past. I'll be a little sharper in terms of level design and all the like. Oh, itchy nose. Yeah, haven't played any Planetary Panic since the last episode because, frankly, it doesn't matter. There's nothing here that benefits us other than the final boss, Gauntlet, who is apparently, you'll see him in the background of this act. Actually, you'll see his shadow, or you might see his shadow running around in the background. But yeah, effectively, Gauntlet is like a Galactus version of Dr. Eggman. It's a bit of a strange concept, but yeah, there you go. You just saw him in the background there. Or you saw at least his silhouette in the background for a moment. Take out these tanks. Take out the Anton. Looks like I was wrong about there being a cutscene on this, or on the last level, but whatever. We'll go through it anyway. But yeah, I've also collected a lot of lives since last time. But while I've been, grinding for all of those time stones and chaos emeralds and all the like, turns out that the special stages in this game are a really good source for rings and lives. Might jump over you this time. The last couple of times I ran through that, I just kept getting stuck on him and losing all of my rings. But this time, oh, okay, no, it's fine. It's not going to take us out. going to get that fire shield. Probably lose it quite quickly, knowing my luck, but it's good to have it. Yeah, well, it was good to have it. Right up until that happened. Like I said, lose it quite quickly. It's good to back away from these guys when they're firing their lasers. If you're too close, you really don't have the maneuverability to get around them. So it's better to back off. Or even better, just jump over them. It's a little bit hard, because they are quite long, band necks. But you can do it. No, thank you. Every time you try that level, or try that low section, if you try and take out one of the tanks, it's just a case of the other one comes and takes you out instead. Take you out with a very slow spin attack, just for maximum embarrassment points. And I will be wholly honest, I don't actually know how you get through this section without damage. Ooh! I was going to say, get through that section without damage boosting, but first time for everything, I suppose. Got there eventually. Ooh! Ooh. Didn't mean to do that. But I'll take some rings. We'll keep going. I think we're getting close to the end now. Yep. Metal Sonic has had better days. It doesn't really explain how he's gone broken up, but taken out by Galactic here, who is a kind of a crazy final boss to end on. And I'll be honest, that's the first time I've died fighting him, embarrassingly. Which bodes well. I think I was a little bit slow on the Ascent there. I think I stayed on the bomb platform for a little too long. Right, come on. Jeez, I don't remember him firing these laser beams. Unless this is me choking on camera, because I fought him once or twice trying to get, see what could be done. But I don't remember him firing laser beams. Or at least I was so high above him by the time he did that there was no chance of them hitting me. Right, come on. There we go. No! The nose. Well, this is a great way to start this off. Losing 3 lives to basically nothing. Right, come on. Let's actually get something here. There we go. But now I've lost all of my rings immediately, and the climb doesn't give you any more. Great. I genuinely don't know what was different about all of that for it all to go so wrong. Like, this section is pretty easy. Like, you can get a decent number of hits on him, and he doesn't really attack in this bit. Like, he fires out these projectiles that destroy platforms, but they're super easy to avoid. Like, you have a lot more powerful of a jump than it may initially seem. And then he does occasionally fire off lasers and stuff in that phase when he comes down from the floor. But they're, apart from that opening section where apparently they're deadly, they're not actually that hard to, nothing to particularly worry about. This is also significantly less of a threat than it seems, the rising platforms, because they're not actually dropping. They only drop as you jump. So actually you can just sit here and wait. Don't really have any reason to. Unless you can kind of tell from the little bit you have above you that you've got like a really bad selection of platforms and you don't want him to break that crucial one that you need to take. There's not really any reason to not just be constantly jumping up. There we go. Ooh, just about got there. And now there we are. This is the true final boss. Let's see where he is. I'm going to assume we probably want to avoid the planets. Planets and his attacks. Oh, which is great. Good start. The movement is a little bit awkward. Because you can kind of just stop very quickly, which doesn't feel quite right, but there we are. Can we just kind of run straight back up to him? No, he does back off a little bit between attacks. Oh, and it's these wonderful lasers that every boss in this game loves throwing off. It's so annoying. But it's alright. Get another hit in. We are losing more rings than we're getting, but that's alright. We just need to avoid attacks. It's fine. Oh, but then it corners you. And then combos you. Great. Please just respawn us here. Thank God. Right, we'll have to get a better handle of managing our rings here. Like, it's hard to explain. You are technically very maneuverable here, but it doesn't feel quite right, which makes it actually a little bit difficult to avoid attacks. Like, it's hard to explain. But you are technically very capable of going up and down, but it just feels a bit stiff. Okay, so you do have to hit his face, which is great when he's firing off lasers that block it off completely. But we are making significantly better use of our rings this time. Come on. Where are you? Yeah, I think those track is the problem. Those larger balls, I think they track you, at least slightly. Which makes them a little trickier to avoid than the smaller ones that just come from the side of the screen. You know, those you just need to recognize are coming and kind of stop yourself. But those larger ones, they do seem to home in on you a little bit. Oh, that's not... Oh, come on. You can't combo me like that. That's just rude. Lucky that there's a large set of rings there, but... Oh, now I'm messing up. Right, come on. Come on, Galactic. Get over here. I was about to say, don't fire off lasers now. That's just going to be annoying. Come on, there you are. I wonder how many takes you're gonna hit, how many hits you're gonna take. 8 seems a bit excessive just because of how long it takes to get to you. But who knows? The bosses have been a bit all over the place in terms of how many hits they take all throughout this game. You know, some of them take barely anything, and then others can take a lot of punishment. Doesn't seem to be quite the standard Sonic 8 hits for a boss this time. It's not really any way to boost forward either, which is something I kind of expected there to maybe be. Right, he's fired something off. Right there. Ooh, just got there in time before you blocked me off with that energy ball. But no luck, Eggman. No luck. Nearly got me with those ones as well. But coming through. Oh! That's a grisly fate. That is, that's not exactly how I expected Sonic to take out Galactic there, to be honest. I wasn't expecting him to, like, rip his face off and drive a hole through his chest. That's crazy. I know that I maybe sort of expected it by them starting with the slightly edgy fact that, oh yeah, Eggman's dead, but I wasn't expecting us to finish off with, like, yeah, let's go rip his face off. Jeez. Calm down, Sonic. Well, there you go. There is our actual true ending to the game, the true final boss, not the slightly crappy run up a bunch of rocks format that the slightly lamer normal final boss takes. That was, you know, it's not the best Supersonic final fight, but there we are. It's interesting. I'll be honest, my thoughts on the game have gone a little bit more negative since the last part, having to go through and get all of those time stones and Chaos Emeralds. I'll probably do a little write-up on Backlogged about my thoughts on it, but there were, you know, a couple of things I was like, this is getting a bit annoying. I could do without this. Just mostly in terms of how they utilize the exploration element to get the collectibles. That's fine. And this time, it's just a normal mountain. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. The Green Flower Mountain is still here. In some form or another. And what's going to happen to Little Planet? Is it going to fuse back together? I mean, you hope so. It's clearly seen better days. Oh. There you go. I mean, you could maybe have gone rid of all of the metal and all the rest of that, but there you go. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles continued the fight to liberate Mobius from Robotnik's creations until no more robots remained. Thank you for playing. Well, that was a charming little Sonic fan game. Ooh, Bamel is still alive. Don't know what's going on with his foot, but he's still there. I would say sequel tease, but it looks like the main developer's just gone off to flog crypto, so I don't think that's happening. But anyway, thank you guys for being patient and waiting for episode 8. It took a little longer to come out than I had hoped because there were difficulties again back onto the save file. It wasn't letting me replay any stage prior to Planetary Panic for a while, so it took a little longer than I had hoped to get all of those Chaos Emeralds and Time Stones to get the true ending ready. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the playthrough, and I'm going to go and say ciao now, but before I do, let me go and show you what's going to be taken, what the next playthrough is going to be like. So, I hope you enjoy the video. Ciao, and here's what's coming up next.